Hey everyone, I'm gonna teach you how to make omelet avocado, kind of like scramble. And so here we go. So my list of ingredients is one avocado, two eggs. I usually use the regular bell pepper, but I didn't have any, so I'm using the little guys. And then I also got some sprout from the farmer's market. So there was a radish and the broccoli sprout. And then from there, my seasoning are a little bit of Hawaiian salt. I found these amazing roast onion, kind of like balsamic herbs, really yummy, and then some ground pepper. So let's show from there. So I got the avocado cut in half, and as you could tell, I did not get the one that's super ripe. And basically just make sure that the pit fall off right here. Once it, or the stem fall off, once you know that it's fall off, that means it's pretty good to go. So they're not super ripe, so we're gonna cook this in the skillet. I'm using cast iron skillet so that it help with in terms of flavor and oil and so forth, so less stickiness to it. And so from here I'm just gonna cube this guy down the row and then kind of cook it. I'm not using any oil whatsoever. Cast iron should already have that oil wax in there, then go from there. Alright, as you can see, I basically cube it and you can hear the sizzling. So typically what I do is I add just a tiny bit of water to kind of keep it going and sizzling it out. So the whole point of it is to make sure that it gets like this little golden browns. From here, I took away and then chopped up the bell pepper. I'm going to throw the bell pepper into with the omelet while it's getting sizzling. And then from there, I'm going to scramble the egg. And it's pretty simple enough. Just throw the egg in afterwards. So I'll share that with you in a second. Alright, as you can see, I'm scrambling, or not scrambling, but I scrambled the egg right there. But then I also add in the bell pepper with the avocados. You can see a little bit of water in there because I just added water to it. I'm going to turn up the heat. So the goal of it is to get the avocado kind of brown. And, you know, as much as a lot of people use spatula or whatever, I like to use regular spoon. And the reason why, because you want to kind of keep that consistency of... Alright, so now as you can see, I add a little bit more water. And you can see a little bit more golden brown right there on the base. And I want to keep that going, so I'm going to start adding my seasoning. So I'm using Hawaiian salt. It's basically sprinkle. You could do whatever you want. I don't like it too salty, so I just kind of sprinkle it around, dash it a little bit. And then from here, I'm going to also add my roasted onion, herb balsamic. So the good thing about herb balsamic is it gives you that like flavor, kind of balsamic-y. Okay, you can see the golden brown. That's perfect, and that's exactly what I want. And now I'm ready to add in my egg, and you can see this golden brown. This one I want my avocado to kind of get that texture. When that's going, I now could just basically throw my egg in there. And I like that cross burn taste, and because it can almost give you that substitution of like if it's a little bit flare of grill, I guess you want to say it. Okay, alright, so throw the egg in. A lot of people like to do is when they throw the egg in, they tend to want to shake it right away. I don't. I let it sit there for a bit before I start flipping around. You do not need to scramble it all the way through. Basically just enough to kind of let it just sit there for a bit. They'll kind of like form, you know how egg is when you throw it in there. So it's like this. Once that happens, you start scrambling it. And then from here, my last ingredient is black pepper. You could use any kind of black pepper. Again, I just basically sprinkle it in and kind of just mix it up and then go from there. Alright, now that I got the egg in, as you can see, I let it stay for a bit before I start flipping it around, scraping it from the cast iron. Once I'm done with this, I now could throw in the sprout. So sprout is kind of almost last because sprout is so fast and so easy to cook. If you don't like sprout, you don't have to do so. I love sprouts, and they're pretty good. Really benefit for you. These little tiny guys that look like they're nothing. They're packed with a whole bunch of micronutrition that we may not even consume by eating all the vegetable. Just a little bit of these guys, they're amazing. And you're basically just sauteing it all the way until it's fully ready to eat. And how do you know is when you start seeing the sprout kind of breaking down and wilder a little bit. You don't want to overcook your sprout because then you don't want to lose all the nutritiousness of the sprout, and you kind of just let it go for a little bit longer, and you can start seeing it where the sprout kind of turn a little bit darker green kind of looking, and then from there you're pretty much done. And that is your avocado with bell pepper, egg, and sprout, and no meat, no nothing. So it's very kind of most nutritious, no oil. You just cook in with water. So if you're cutting oil, this is a perfect substitution. And if you're trying to cut carbs in terms of processed carbs, this is also another good substitution. And that's it. And here's the final product. So you basically just got yourself a scrambled egg with avocado, with bell pepper, with sprout, and all the seasoning. It's really good. Give it a try.